Hi everyone, I'm Lisa from Down to Earth Gardening and Design. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is a little bit of an update. We did a video in this woodland garden at my house last year where I added 7 additional shade plants. And so I wanted to give you an update and show you some of those because I don't mean to play favorites, but I'm going to. I'm going to show you how they flowered, how they performed. I'm going to pick my favorites. And then I want to show you 2 additional plants that I have back here that I really love and are shining right now, and I think you might like those as well. So I love the evolution of a garden. And this woodland garden here has certainly evolved over the last 10 years. I'm going to try to throw up a picture of what it looked like before we did the patio installation and the boulder walls back here in this garden, because really it was just a mound of dirt. So it was quite the transformation. But I also love moving things around in my garden, or dividing things or adding things and just switching them up a little bit to make them interesting and to meet my needs, because your needs and your wants will change through time. So I added 7 perennials last year, and really it was based around the foliage, and that's how you can really spice it up in a garden that's a little bit shady. So interesting foliage was a requirement. They had to be really hardy was a requirement because I'm a busy lady. And the flowers had to really pop, because sometimes when you have a shady garden, things kind of fade away. So you want a nice bright flower color. So one of the top picks here is right in front of me, and I just had a hummingbird on it, which proves that this is a winner here. So I'm back here doing a little bit of work here. Let me just get these out of your way. I want to deadhead my daffodils while we're here, and maybe you can see this a little bit better. So this purple flower that looks like statice is actually called Lungwort, and the name of it is Spot On. So of course it's purple, and a few of the flowers you're going to see are purple. As you know, it's my favorite color. But what I love about it is it's so vibrant. The foliage is kind of spotty, gray and green and silver. But what a long flowering season, and that is really important to get some bang from your buck. So when we came back from Florida in early April, this had already started flowering, and it started as a lavender color and it just got deeper. It's now been flowering for about 6 weeks and it's still going strong. So definitely a winner here, and a pollinator. Okay, the next one that I want to show you is down on the other end of the garden. So let me move us down there. Okay, the next little plant that's a powerhouse in the lineup is this Helleborus, and selected for a couple reasons. One, look at these textured, colorful leaves, beautiful foliage, but also selected for their flower and their long flowering season. So Lenten Rose is one of the first things to flower here in Connecticut. I'm in zone 6B for those of you at home. And what a long bloomer it is. So I think it's really a stunner. I planted 3 different varieties, but I'm really just loving this deep purple, of course, almost a burgundy. So again, it's Anna's red, and I think this is performing really well for the first year. And then you can see another Spot On Lungwort here. And I'm so glad that I bounced these around a little bit. Before we end the video, I'm going to show you another little patch where I planted 3 of these together at the other end. You can also see a little bit of peach on these. Okay, moving on, I have a little petite bleeding heart. So we're all used to the old-fashioned bleeding hearts, which are beautiful, but I wanted something with a little more foliage texture. So right under this little short shepherd's hook here, I have pink diamonds, So it's really cute, petite, and it has the blue-green, highly textured foliage. Also have a few of those, and I think those are just really adorable in a woodland garden, kind of enchanting. So I do want to mention that the other reasons why gardens evolve is conditions change. So a couple of things are happening back here for me, and you're probably going to see some more videos on that. But one is we've had to take some trees down. So my shaded woodland garden is actually getting a little more sun. So, and so far so good. Things that I had planted here for some more shade are doing well. So these plants here, I would say they're part shade plants. But number two thing that's happening here, and you're definitely going to see more on this, is because we have the boulder walls here, we have some washout. So I'm going to be trying to solve that problem. But not only do I like a really full garden, but I really need it to be full to help with some erosion control, and I'm going to bring you more on that in the future. So let's move around, and I want to show you a couple more plants today. Okay, next plant, really shining right now, is this Brunnera. So selected this plant for the beautiful foliage, heart-shaped leaves. And look at these, I think they're also called false forget-me-not flowers. Just a stunning bright color. Even though they're tiny, they're just so airy and bright. I really love these. Actually, I'm thinking right now I might pick these for a little bouquet while I'm out here. Okay, so that's another great one. Okay, so the last plant that I'm giving you an update on that I planted last year is going to be this really pretty variegated hosta. So yellow and blue-green variegation. So this one here is called Touch of Class, and I'm pretty excited about it, knock on wood, because you all may have seen that I struggle with deer back here, and so far, crossed fingers, so good, the deer haven't eaten this little plant here. But I think this really pops with the foliage, and I'm also going to get a flower this summer. Okay, so now I want to move to 3 other plants back here that are really shining this spring, and they weren't in the lineup last year, but I like to keep you updated on what I'm doing here and what I'm really loving. And I think this garden's looking really pretty this spring, and of course you're probably going to see me adding some more. So I have, speaking of Touch of Class, I have the first one here is a Jacob's Ladder or Pulmonium, which is called Touch of Class. And first of all, love the foliage. So yellow, green, and a little bit of pink on the edges, and beautiful pale blue / purple flower. So very airy. This little plant here has been back here about 3 years, and I do have a couple more scattered around. So really loving that. And then I have another one to show you that's kind of funny. Kind of. So this perennial here is called woodland phlox. So it takes a little more shade than the ground cover phlox varieties or the upright phlox. And it's also a spring bloomer. Gorgeous color. Picked this up last year because my neighbor had it, and it flowers for a good long time in the spring. And I just love the color. I feel like it really is showcased back here in this garden. However, somebody else also loves it, and I've been reading up on it, and apparently bunnies love it so much they will stand up on their hind legs and munch on it. And so I went and purchased 2 more this spring, and I think they were, you know, expensive 2-gallon containers, and bounced them around, and guess what? I enjoyed them for less than a week, and the bunnies completely mowed the other two down. So I'm probably gonna have to get some little netting or something for these. So sad, but hopefully they were just pruning it or deadheading it and it'll come back. So I do have to warn you about that, even though it is a really beautiful plant. So the last plant that I want to show you today is right in front of me, and it's actually a shrub. It's a dwarf shrub. I've had these shrubs here since the installation of these gardens, and I'm so happy that I put them where they are, and I'll tell you why. First is they're just stunning. Beautiful variegated foliage. This is a deutzia, and it's called Fresh Creme, or Creme Fresh actually. So flowers are petite, white, lightly fragrant, and it's right by my patio, so you can have the advantage of the fragrance, and it just really pops with its foliage. I love it also because it's a really easy dwarf shrub. So it is woody, it's deciduous, it's gonna lose its leaves in the winter, but it's so low maintenance, and it kind of acts as a ground cover here because they don't get taller than about 2 feet. So pretty drought tolerant once they're established. You can plant them in part shade and they do fantastic. And so far, deer and bunny resistant. So that's it for today. I love sharing the evolution of these gardens with you, and I hope you enjoyed this video and it's given you some good ideas for your own gardens. So thank you again for joining me. If you like the video, please go ahead and tap like and subscribe to our channel, because I love doing these videos for you, and there's going to be lots more gardening coming your way.